this is Julissa. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. Today is the 1st of April 2025. Today is Tuesday. I wanted to come here and speak about this viral video about a black woman whose sample was labeled as King Khan, mistakenly apparently by the lab technician, I guess you can say. Before I continue, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's listening using Spotify. Thank you so much for following me there. And of course, thank you so much to everybody who's watching this video right now on YouTube. Thank you so much for sharing and subscribing. And if you're listening on the podcast using any of the platforms like Apple Podcasts, Pandora Podcasts, and Amazon Music, and every other platform where you can hear this show, I just wanted to say, if you ever want to look at the video of these episodes that I put out, you can always go to my YouTube channels by searching Julissadesigns on YouTube, okay? So you guys, in the last days, the love of many will grow cold. I think, when I saw this video of this African American woman saying, who wrote my name like this on this lab sample? And a good thing for her, she actually confronted the staff. So let me read to you guys the story before I speak about it. A California clinic has sparked outrage online after labeling a black woman medical sample as King Khan. In now viral TikTok video, Kiera King, which is her name, detailed the blatant racism behind an incident where a medical assistant at the Perlman Clinic Modern Healthcare printed her name on a test kit as King Khan. The video began with King bringing the racist label to another staffer's attention, and she is seen in the video saying, "Can you tell me what's wrong with this sample?" And King said that as she handed the workers her sample, the lady said, quote unquote, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." A clinic worker said off camera after noticing the King Khan label. "Can you understand," she says, the patient, Kiera, she said, "can you understand as a black woman, why would I have a problem with this?" And the TikToker explained that the worker has said that her last name, boy said to the patient, "Your last name is King," before questioning the staff room. Someone could mistakenly type her first name, Kiera, as Khan. I think, this is no excuse, you guys. There is such a disrespect that's in the air. I think people are just, the Bible says the Bible says that we are creating the image of God, but people are walking around there saying these people are good because they have this and the other, or because they look a certain way, and everybody else is not. It's like, have you seen God? Like, when you see Jesus, what are you gonna say to him, right? There is a lack of love, a lot of disrespect floating around. Some people are so uncomfortable being around people who are different than them, okay? And there's a lot of, I guess, there's a lot of things that, as cultural things, that need to be overcome. You think people have surpassed things like that, but racism is very alive. Racism is very alive between everybody. Like, you can see there's a lot of microaggressions happening too. For some reason, makes people feel better if they throw out a microaggression about the way you look, how you speak, if you have an accent like I do. It's just crazy, like, where you from, all of that. And this is very shocking because you will think a medical professional, right, will have the amount of training necessary to not make an error like this. Because even if you work in retail and you're like, let's use, in retail, they always ask you, do you want to apply for a credit card? You're filling out this application and you somehow, you pass the application back and somehow your name is misspelled or something. Any decent human being will be like, That's a skin color. Any decent human being would be like, ma'am, what was your name again? I'm sorry, can you spell your name for me again? I think there's a mistake here. Like, reading back something just so that you can have the proper professionalism to now go through something like this. But this is why it's so shockingly, because this medical professional person who went through training, right? Who went through this training about you cannot, be have this decision based on what people look like, even when it comes to healthcare, right? You will expect some type of more respect when it comes to that. I mean, going to medical offices is still like one of the most difficult things for a lot of people to even do. Imagine for somebody to be there, asking for help, going there to be cared for, and then they're gonna do this, like, right? Who does that? There's no like, this sample label says skin color. Let me just double check her name again, because one thing I know, guys, when it comes to sample blood samples and like medical samples and things like that, the name of the patient is the most important thing. The name of the patient and the date of birth. So anybody, like I said, with any type of human decency, common sense, will see a name like that, right? Because if you wrote that, right, we'll be like, did I just put kink on? Like, oh my gosh, let me fix it before anybody sees it. Like, that's really bad, because this person has said after she was confronted, she said that was a mistake. Any human being with some type of decent moral, right, being raised by good parents, will be like, let me just, this is a mistake. Let me just double check her name again, right? It's crazy. If anything, right, because I'm saying this because a lot of people want to justify it. Maybe, let's just say, if it was like writing kink on an appointment card that you give back to a patient after they make an appointment, maybe that was a quick mistake. There is a line of patients, perhaps the office is very busy, maybe they made a mistake, they wrote it too fast or something. That could be a little bit more passable. Maybe it's still a macroaggression, it's still very bad, but they say you gotta call this specialist to make your appointment. Let me write your information quick so you can call them and then taking the next patient in. Maybe in the busyness of a medical office, that can be passed by. But my whole point is, when it comes to labeling a sample that you send to a lab regarding a patient, the name and the date of birth is the most important thing. That if they have to triple check that before they send a sample with the wrong name to the lab, they will have to triple check the name and date of birth. So really, it's really no excuse. This was a complete, this was definitely done on purpose. That's just my opinion. Like I said, we could have made it, maybe it could have been possible if it was something more like an appointment card or just writing down a name for some type of whatever. Even that would still be a little, maybe on purpose. But this, when it comes to a label, it's like those are the things that doctors, lab technicians will double check because they want to make sure they have the right person. So the name of the patient is so important. The same thing with the date of birth. So I am so glad that this person, Kiara, she confronted the staff right away, right? I mean, it's like, really, like, this is still like stuff like this happens. Like, it's, the Bible says in the last days the love of many will grow cold. And when you have a lack of love, that obviously leads to disrespect and carelessness. And I don't care what they think of me. In the video, she says, I'll give you my name so you can report me. That also says, the approach of the employee also when she was confronted, that also said a lot, right? That also said a lot. The way she was like, I'll give you my name so you can report me back if you want to do a report. I wonder how the office is gonna handle that, because really that's just, people want to justify and say, her name is Kiera and her last name is King. No, it's so bad, you guys. I don't even know like what to say. Like, it's just so bad what happened here. Let me just continue to read if I can get more information here. Well, it says here, later in the video, the staffer who was uninvolved in the incident located the medical assistant who printed the racist label. The assistant addressed Kim, saying it wasn't my intention to do that. She tried to claim that she had Kim double-check the name on the label before she took her sample. See, that's what I told you. That's what I told you. The name and date of birth of a patient on the sample is so crucial. It's in making sure that they have the right person, and the name, even the spelling of the name, is double check, because when it comes to testing and labeling, you don't want to mess that up, right? You don't want to give people the wrong results. So the testing is double triple check at times, right? So now she's defending herself when she's confronted. She's like, I show you to make sure you have the right. I show you the label so that you told me that the name was correct, right? Like, any person with common sense and moral good look can be like, this says King Kong. Let me just check with her one more time. Ma'am, can you tell me your name again? I just want to make sure I have the right name. Can you spell your name for me, please? It's just common sense. People are just not, like, it's just crazy. It's almost like in this type of offices, there has to be a lot of training being done when it comes to microaggressions, okay? When it comes to discriminating other people, racism and all of that. And like I said, there's a lot of people right now who are getting themselves 1, 2, 3 jobs, and they're just working just to earn a paycheck. They're not really like they're not giving 100% to every job, right? And that's, this really shows a lack of training in part of the office. And the same thing too, not only does it show a lack of training, that's what I meant to say, lack of training, it also shows the way she was kind of like, I'll give you my name so you can report me if you want to do a report. It seems to me like this employee was kind of like fed up at her job, and she was at that point that she really doesn't care, and perhaps maybe she had done something similar in the past, okay? Because wow, right? Out of anything, the sample label, misspelling the name like that, well, she says misspelled. No, it's like somebody will put on the sample paper Batman, and you're gonna be like, okay, well, it's Batman. No, obviously a normal person with common sense will be like, man, can you verify your name for me, please? I think we have the wrong name on your label. It's just things like that you will expect somebody with some type of moral, human decency will be like, something is off here. So let me know, guys, what you think about this. A lot of people online are saying she should sue the company, and I wonder if the clinical office is gonna come out with some type of statement and say some type of training is gonna be enforced now with everybody else in the staff. Let me know, guys, what you think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening in the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day everybody. God bless.